Hi, this is Kathy Pike. I'm going to give you a tour of the Ames Animal Shelter today. We're actually a part of the Ames Police Department. We're a municipal animal shelter that also does animal control. As you can see, we're not a very big facility. Definitely looks like an older building as well as some of our signage. Good news is we should be getting a new shelter here shortly. We're in the works of doing it. This is what a public would walk through and see. The biggest thing you'll see is that we don't have space. That's why we have one of our animal control officers' desks right in the middle of our lobby. If a person had a stray animal, they would come to the front here. We don't have kiosks or anything as we're pretty small. Maybe at our new shelter we might have something like that. So they do come and they sign a animal release form giving us information about where they found the animal at, as well as who they are. From here, then our animals that are strays would go through this hallway. I'm also going to show you, since throughout this area we do have some of our enrichment areas, so our community rooms for cats. Here is one of them. We call it Fishbone Lounge. This one doesn't have paintings on the walls. It'd be something we'd want to do, but with getting a new shelter, not probably going to happen now. But they get scratching posts and cranda beds, cat TV, lots of hidey places, wet food, toys. Volunteers and adopters can go in there and spend time with them. And then another one of our community cat rooms is Kitty City here. This one actually has some painted murals and stuff. Each one of the animals that has been painted has a significant meaning to the shelter throughout the years. Here again, we do have cat TV for the kitty cats. Lots of things to climb up on, scratching posts. We actually just got that puzzle board donated by a local company to test out. And yeah. And then we also have this room called Catnip Corner. This is actually dual purpose room. So right now it's a community room, or actually a room that our cats can get out of the kennels that are up for adoption, can go into, but also is our cat isolation. So when we do have sick cats, this is a room that they would go in and we would put kennels in. But right now we allow for our cats to come in here and stretch their legs. Hi, Miranda. They also have cat TV, so even if they are in here and sick, we do have that. We also play music for the animals as an enrichment through a dog's ear, through a cat's ear, for all of them here. It's a smaller room, but it does also allow for our cats to get out and stretch their legs a bit. Our volunteers come in and play with them, and we have lots of different storage areas here. Hold on, honey. Where we keep a lot of our toys and different things for different animals, all inside of these cabinets, nicely labeled so that all of our volunteers who help out with dishes and different chores around here are able to find them and put them away. This room here is supposed to be our dog isolation. But because we're such a small shelter, you can't tell that it's a dog isolation because you can't even tell that there's dog kennels in here. This bank of kennels is actually what we use in cat isolation when needed. Right now, it's just kind of an overflow room because we don't need to have dogs in isolation. No contagious diseases or illnesses. We have lots of donations that come in. This is right now where we put them at until we can find people in the community that need it, so pet food pantry, or we do share with other local shelters and rescues if they're in need of things. But behind all of that, so everything's on wheels so that when we do have an outbreak of something that we do need to isolate dogs for, we can actually push everything out somewhere. Don't ask me where it's all gonna go, because it's a lot of stuff. Lots of dog. This is our dog food room. Mainly, but also supposed to be dog ISO. But you pull those kennels out. There's just 2 kennels in there. That's all we could really fit in here. And then they're up on a platform that we could place them in. So that would be where our dog isolation is. Otherwise, our dog room in general, where our strays do go, is through this way. And so we have 14 kennels with the guillotine system for front and back that all of our dogs go to. So the ones who are available for adoption are usually down on this end, and then those who come in as strays or are court cases are back through that end, and try and keep them separated. This is mom and her pup, so that's why their kennels are next to each other, but if we can avoid having them right next to each other, we do try and do every other one if possible. We have an indoor play yard, so an enrichment for the doggies there, as well as we do have, there's a dog outside right now, a fenced-in area outside, and we'll see who that is. But this is our way of letting people know that there is a dog outside. Ooh, it's Cope and Lucy. So out here we have our yard. We have lots of storage out here as well for dog houses and stuff that we can give away to people. We do not utilize these individual outdoor kennels. They're here, but as you can see, it's kind of overgrown. We don't place the dogs out here just because we don't want them by themselves and potentially getting out or anything like that. But we have this big yard where they can each come out. We have volunteers that get them out approximately every 2 hours or so, with the help of staff as well, to come out and play. That's one of our lovely volunteers right now that's playing with 2 of our court cases. They're actually been awarded to us, but there's just some criminal charges pending in relations to them. So it's okay to see them because they're our property already. And since the shelter's so small, I'm just going to walk you guys through the whole thing. Now, I'll show you where our new stray intakes would go, and this would be our vet tech's room. It is behind a locked door because we do have controlled substances, as we do euthanasia here, mostly for wild animals because we do provide services to sick or injured wildlife. So this is where they would come in. We do have a registered vet tech that is on staff. They would check them over if she was here. She does have limited hours. She's just part-time. So otherwise we bring them here and do a little bit of a look over, just make sure there's nothing immediate. And then we have exam forms that she can get to the next time that she's in for them. And then our graveyard of kennels, because we don't have space to continue to keep them, and we do share with other shelters and local rescue groups. We do have a group that's supposed to be coming for quite a bit of them right now, but it looks terrible how much we have sitting out here. The trailer is affectionately called Pravilla. This is our stray intake for cats, and also some more storage, because everything is about storage around here. And this is a locked door since we do not have staff out here all the time. We do not have running water out here, so we do have to take things in and out. We do have heat and air conditioning for the animals, which is nice. So that's just our storage area of things. And then this is where our stray cats would come in, or those that are surrendered but need maybe a nice quiet place to adjust before going into our adoption room and for volunteers to hang out with. So this is kind of a staff only building. As you see, not the biggest cages. We would obviously like to improve those. But for the temporary time that these guys are here, it works out well for us. We do have portos so they can, have 2 sides. Some of these guys, like Hazelvine, are just trying to get feeling better after being outside. And then we got some itty bitty little kittens too. This room on the east side of Pravilla is known as our feral cat room. So these are the feral cages that we have set up for those that don't particularly want us to be handling them. And so at the bottom here, you can see this is our newest guy. We give him a feral den box. And then they have large dog kennels that they're in. So that way we can clean it very easily. But then also they have lots of ventilation, lots of room to be able to move around if they want to get away from us while we're cleaning. It's worked out really well for us to be able to do that. We've had a lot of cats that have turned from feral or semi-feral to being our good friends. We call those photo friends. And then we have another bank of kennels there too, for as needed. And then out here we also play music too, but we're kind of winding down for the evening to be able to get everybody to go to bed. So we start shutting it down. This area is very nice and quiet, as after the mornings, after we feed and clean, there's not a whole lot of traffic like the rest of the shelter. So it's a nice, good, calm down area, especially for our ferals to kind of just to get accustomed to everything. And the backside of the parking lot from Pervilla, and then the dog yard. And that's the Ames Animal Shelter.